married to my husband I'm 40. We've been together since we were 19. He's definitely my soulmate. We love each other dearly. We have three small kids. You know, you borderline sometimes go through phases where you become more friends than you do lovers. I would like to inject the passion back into our marriage.
Okay, I love this question so much because she goes, I know we can get it back. I desire and I would love to have more passion. She's using very positive words and belief systems within her system. She's just looking for somewhat of a formula. I know we're living this world where there's a lot of work and there's a lot of busyness. And I personally am watching that dial get sped up in people's lives. And I am personally trying to turn down that dial in my life because I'm seeing that it's actually leading me nowhere. Really looking at from morning till night, where do you spend your time? Obviously, time with family is important. And that maybe isn't something to move out or move around. It's looking at where am I spending doing projects at work that just are not even the truth and I'm going nowhere with it. Maybe it's looking at what am I watching? Am I scrolling? What am I doing with all my time that I have during this day? And look for something you can remove that is kind of soul deadening. It's a path to nowhere and replace it with something for you, not between you and your husband, but for you. And he does the same for him, meaning where can you fill yourself up in 30 minutes? That might be nature walk with no phone. That might be a bath with no phone. That might be reading a juicy book that you love. That might be cooking. I don't know what your thing is, but you've got to make a list and be dedicated to filling yourself up with pleasure outside of sex. Welcome to the Danette May Show, where you'll receive profound breakthroughs, courage to break old patterns, and live into your soul's purpose. Each week, I will bring you epic guests and live coaching to remind you of your power. You have the ability to achieve extraordinary things, and the time to start is now. So the second thing you're going to do is get really good at finding either a neighbor, a family member, somebody who they might have kids. You could be like, hey, let's do a swap. A date night a week would be really important. It might just be like, hey, this is a time we go for walking without the kids for 45 minutes and we catch up with each other. So there's this feeling of connection and we hold hands, but it's not around sex as well. Okay. And then the third thing, once a quarter, we have a 24-hour sex date. Meaning you're going to find someone who will watch your kids for just 24 hours. You're going to communicate with them that this is a chance, and maybe it's just for when you're just starting out, it's a date and an overnight. And you're going to go to an overnight place. You're not going to stay at your house because we all know kids hear you come in that door. They crawl into your bed. They call out your name and the whole energy is killed. So you're going to go to a hotel somewhere where you are away from home. Kids stay home. Someone watches for 24 hours. You're only doing this once a quarter. You got to find a neighbor. You got to find someone who's on board. You don't have to tell them you're doing a sex date. But you're going to tell, this is what I tell my husband. I'm like, I need in this 24 hours where you honor me.
That's fabulous. I was not expecting you to say all those things. That's awesome. But thank you.
Hello, honey. We can see each other, but no one was able to see you. And I am actually not going to say your name. Intuition's telling me not to say your name. I want you to feel completely safe to ask your question, to be just with me right now so that you get the answers that you need in your life right now. So welcome to the show and thank you for your vulnerability, and go ahead and ask your question.
Thank you. How do I wrote this down. How do I live in my soul's purpose when my partner doesn't support me and drags me down?
Your question. How do I live in my soul's purpose when I live with a partner who feels as if they are dragging me down? I reworded it a little different. I want to ask you something. How long have you been with your partner?
20 years.
20 years. And what brought you to that partner at the very beginning?
He was different.
How was he different? Tell me how he was.
He was from a different country. Mm-hmm. He did things differently than I grew up with. He thinks differently. He's very creative, where I always thought I wasn't.
Mm-hmm.
We're
How did he make
opposites.
you feel when you were first together?
Like I could be supported.
And let's be really honest with each other on this, Kate, because I know this is your time and my time.
Mm-hmm.
I want to ask, where was your self-worth at that time 20 years ago?
Not great.
Right. Not great. And tell me how you felt about yourself.
I was going through my master's program, and I wasn't doing well, and I needed help. Or I felt I needed help. I look back and I'm okay. But in the moment I needed help, and I thought
What did
that
you need help with? Like financial,
emotional,
emotional?
like, was this the right thing I was doing?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And did he give you a little bit of that? Or make
Just a
you
very
feel
little.
he gave you that?
Just a very little.
Yeah. And so is it possible that you got into this relationship with low self-esteem, questioning who you are, needing emotional support, and trying to grab a lifeline?
Yes.
Yeah. And what has kept you together over 20 years?
My kids.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Your kids. And so now you're living a life with someone for your kids at this point.
Yes.
Can you honestly say that if you didn't have kids right now, you would be with the same person?
I can honestly say no, I wouldn't.
Okay. I appreciate your vulnerability. I know this is hard. You're helping yourself, but you're also helping a lot of people that are listening right now. And I'm here with you. Being with somebody for our children, I've been in that seat. And do you have a daughter?
Yes.
And if your daughter was to come to you right now with this question about her soul's purpose, she wants to fly, she wants to feel free, she's been growing and evolving and loving herself more and stepping into that and seeing with different eyes. And she was like, Mom, I'm married to a person that's holding me back, but I don't want to hurt my children. What would you tell her?
The same thing that my mom's been telling me.
And what has your mom been telling you?
She loves me and she only wants to see me happy. And if it's not right, it's not right. Yeah.
Yeah. And only you will know if it's right, and only you will know. But you have to understand that our children feel and see and know more than we give them credit. And they want to see us happy and living in our soul's purpose, and us flying and being free and being in fullest expression. It gives them permission to do the same. Now, if you can do that in this partnership, do it. Whatever that person says or doesn't say or doesn't do, you live into it. You live into it for your own sake, because you've got just this one life. And you do it also for them, to give them permission to do the same, no matter if someone's putting them down or someone's trying to hold them back or telling them certain things. You live into it. And I have a feeling that as you live into it, either he levels up and steps in with this, or he falls away. And he may fall away on his own because it's too much. Or he may go, this is how she's going to operate. I got to up level. I've got to meet her. And he might get inspired himself. But instead of focusing on him, focus on you. And be committed to that, no matter what he says, no matter how he makes you feel, no matter what's going on. You live into you. You make that step and do it every single day and find things. I want you to take out a piece of paper and write out, if I were living in my soul's expression, I would be doing this. If I was living in my soul expression, I'd be doing this, and go line by line. And it might be that I'm going to go and do this, even though it's not convenient for anyone else. It might be that you're like, I'm going to go study this because I just am curious about it and it doesn't make any sense to anyone else. I'm going to not make dinner tonight. It can be that simple because I'm done making everyone dinner. Whatever the thing is, I want you to start stepping into them, write them all out, and then start stepping into them. And the people that are not meant to be in your life will fall away as you live into your soul's expression. And the other ones that are meant to be in your life will up level. But you've got to choose you and be happy. And the truth is, no one else is really stopping you. If there's abuse, absolutely, please, for the sake of your children, remove yourself from any abuse. But if it's not, and it's just energetic, then you get to just live into your expression regardless, and people will either fall away or they'll step up. How does that land?
Spot on. Spot on. I have been moving more towards things like, I think about, I've been to therapy and to be able to cope. And so years ago, I figured out that I needed to just focus on me. Like whatever he's gonna do. Unfortunately, like I feel like I'm on an island and I don't have people around me to support me emotionally, like physically. So it's hard to do every single thing that I want to do. It's not at this point. Well, it's not only this point about money, it's about me being a mother to 3 children instead of 2. And it's so exhausting.
Yeah. Well, be a mother to 2 and drop the 3rd, because I know you're talking about him. You don't have to be a mother to him. That's your choice, honestly. Like, I want to get a little hard with you because you need to hear it and other people need to hear it. And I had to hear it. There was a time when I had to hear it too. And you're a parent to 2, you're not a parent to him. Okay. So stop the actions that are being parenting-ish to him. Be a parent. And then also step into this new belief system every single day that I am supported. I have friends around me, and you be a friend to other people and change this mental story around I am an island. I don't have other people around me. You may feel that right now, but you get to change that story through your words. So now start repeating the words, I am supported. I have friends around me. I am attracting supportive, loving friendships in my life. I am being a supportive, loving friend in my life to other people, and really start saying that, embodying it, being it, and being patient, because sometimes it takes time for those friends to feel that energy and come in. But first off, stop parenting that 3rd child and start really owning your power. You know, there's a power in you and you know it. And that's what's eating you alive, is that you are just keep putting the shells around the power. Start unleashing the power, and it'll slowly come. It will slowly come. I'm sending you all my love, honey. Thank you for your vulnerability.